Imagine a world where academic ambition becomes a battlefield, and the library is just as strategic as the war room. In a move that could reshape global education and international relations, the Trump administration is poised to aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students studying in the United States, especially those tied to the Chinese Communist Party, or pursuing education in critical fields like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But beneath this diplomatic thunderclap lies a storm of consequences for both nations: the global academic community and the future of U.S. China relations. Disclaimer: this analysis seeks to present a balanced and thought-provoking examination of the implications of this policy decision. It does not endorse or oppose any political ideology or government action but aims to unpack the motivations, risks, and ripple effects of this high-stakes maneuver. Historically, academic exchange between the U.S. and China has served as a cornerstone of soft diplomacy. Chinese students bring billions in revenue to American universities and, more importantly, contribute to cutting-edge research and cross-cultural understanding. However, the Trump administration's plan to revoke visas disrupts this long-standing tradition, signaling a shift from cooperation to suspicion. From the administration's perspective, the move is framed as a national security imperative. The concern lies in alleged espionage, technology theft, and intellectual property infringement by Chinese nationals, particularly those with connections to the Chinese military or state-sponsored programs. Tightening visa controls is seen as a preemptive strike against potential threats embedded in academic collaboration. Chinese students are the largest group of international students in the U.S., contributing over $15 billion annually to the U.S. economy. Revoking visas en masse could lead to decreased university funding, program cuts, and job losses in higher education, a sector already strained by COVID-19 and declining domestic enrollment. The U.S. has long leveraged its universities as beacons of freedom, innovation, and opportunity. By shutting the door on Chinese scholars, America risks dimming that beacon and ceding educational influence to other nations like Canada, the UK, and Australia, which may welcome the displaced talent. For China, this move reinforces the narrative of Western hostility. It may accelerate Beijing's investment in domestic education and its pursuit of technological self-reliance. We can also expect reciprocal restrictions on U.S. students, scholars, and journalists in China, deepening the divide. The term critical fields is telling. The focus on areas like AI, quantum computing, and biotechnology signals a broader strategic rivalry. This is not just about students, it's about controlling the future of global innovation and maintaining technological supremacy. Academics fear the chilling effect this policy might have. If visa decisions are influenced by political affiliations or research topics, the principle of academic freedom, long a hallmark of U.S. universities, may erode under the weight of geopolitical tension. Beyond policy, there are real human stories. Thousands of Chinese students, many of whom have no ties to the CCP, now face uncertainty, disrupted education, and stigma. This may deepen anti-Asian sentiment and feed into broader patterns of discrimination. While the policy aligns with hawkish voices in Washington, it may send mixed signals to U.S. allies who value openness and collaboration in science. Countries in the EU, for example, may view the move as excessive or inconsistent with democratic values. For Trump, this move fits squarely into a broader narrative of being tough on China, a message that plays well with his base. It appeals to voters concerned about job losses, trade imbalances, and foreign influence. Especially during an election cycle or as a legacy item, this visa crackdown can be seen as a component of strategic decoupling, separating the U.S. from Chinese influence across key domains. The goal is to reduce dependency and build resilient national systems, but the execution raises questions about feasibility and cost. History teaches us that tit-for-tat moves in international relations often lead to unintended consequences. If this policy triggers retaliation or encourages other forms of isolationism, it may spiral into a new Cold War, one waged in classrooms and labs instead of battlefields. There's also a legal gray area. Revoking visas based on nationality, political affiliation, or field of study walks a fine line between prudence and prejudice. Courts and civil rights groups may challenge the policy as discriminatory or unconstitutional. Science and education thrive on openness. By closing doors, the U.S. risks not only losing top talent but also cutting itself off from the very ideas, collaborations, and global networks that fuel discovery and progress. This visa revocation plan is more than an administrative maneuver, it's a tectonic shift in how the U.S. engages with China and the world. Whether driven by genuine concern or political calculus, its implications are vast and potentially irreversible. As tensions rise, we must ask, are we protecting our future or isolating it? Now more than ever, policymakers, educators, and citizens must engage in informed dialogue. Challenge assumptions, question motivations, and advocate for policies that secure national interests without compromising the principles of openness and inclusion that made American education a global leader. Let this be a starting point, not an endpoint, in the conversation on security, strategy, and scholarship.